Yeah, for parents who have kids who seem to be suffering from anxiety, I mean, my constant counsel is, seek help. And there are resources like the Child Mind Institute, or your local internist or pediatrician. There's an organization called the ADAA, which is the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. Get help, because with the anxiety disorders in particular, they are treatable. Not always easily, not always, to the point of a cure, but early intervention and treatment can really help. As far as parenting, you want to model. One therapist I talked to said, you want to push gently, and that's to say, don't enable. And I know this. I can relate to this painfully, both as an anxious kid, a one-time anxious kid, and a parent. It is painful. I don't want to. When my son doesn't want to walk into the party, and he's whimpering quietly, it's painful for me to push him, not literally physically, but to force him to go in. But for the most part, you should push him to go in, because the longer this is true of adults too, but avoidance is a hallmark of anxiety, and you only compound and sort of intensify the anxiety by not, in effect, exposing yourself to it, and help them develop their sense of self-efficacy. Self-esteem, self-efficacy are inversely correlated with both anxiety and depression. The more you can give them a sense of a feeling of mastery, and praise them for doing the things that they thought they couldn't do. My son suffers from, and it's painful to me, but the similar kinds of separation anxiety that I did. And so, like, if we're in a public place, he's now 7. He should be able to, in a restaurant that's a familiar restaurant, walk and go to the men's room by himself now. It was a huge deal for us when he did that a week ago Wednesday, and he came back and he was so proud, but he didn't want to go. And again, it was the right thing to say, no, I'm not going to go with you. You have to go. So push gently and supportively. Try to help the kids learn how to soothe themselves. In my book research, I went back to the psychiatrist who I first evaluated me in 1980 when I was 10, and then who I saw for 25 years, and I sort of interviewed him from a journalistic perspective, saying, what was my problem, why, and he said, you never learned how to soothe yourself, and your parents weren't good at teaching you how to soothe yourself. Your dad would sort of get angry, and your mother would just get anxious, and so you'd sort of take on, you'd react to his anger and take on her. So you want to model calmness, and you want to acknowledge the anxiety, validate it, and then try to steer them towards less anxious thoughts and distract them, and all the typical things a sensible parent would probably think of to do.